In the first part of June, I went to Peru for volunteer work, partially as an attempt to walk off the ivory tower to cast some real impacts in the real world. I later got to know Maximo Nivo, a volunteer organization in Latin America. That is where I met Becca, their country manager of Peru. My first impression of Becca is that she doesn't talk a lot, and she's a nice person who patiently answered all my logistical questions. By then, not knowing that we share the same ultimate concern of how to exit every tower and how to bring real significant changes to the world. In a casual conversation, she brought it up that she was a healthcare program director involving more than 50 hospitals in Indiana, and that got recruited to be the country manager here at Peru for Maximo Nivo because she's burnt out by the former. She didn't reveal a lot, but I grew increasingly curious about her motivations, her values, and her experiences, and thus I asked her for this interview. After talking to her, it reveals that her journey is profoundly inspiring for those who share the same concern with us. Here.
Yeah, so I majored in economics and Spanish at Wellesley. And I wasn't entirely sure what I wanted to do when I graduated. The only thing I knew for certain is that I wanted to make a difference in the world. And so I had been pre-med for a while at Wellesley and just found that the hard sciences weren't for me, but I still really liked the idea of healthcare. So I decided to get my master's in business administration from Ohio State, focusing on healthcare operations. And then from there, I kind of discovered the administrative side of healthcare and went into work for Indiana University Health, which is a 16 hospital system throughout the state of Indiana. I started as a project manager there. And then was promoted to a program manager and then to a director. And so my last 2 years there, I managed a team of about 50 financial counselors throughout the state who helped people who didn't have insurance get on insurance or help people with very, very high bills get financial assistance. Towards the end, I got fairly burnt out. I felt like I was removed from the patients in kind of helping in a more indirect way, and I wanted to feel that impact again. I also had a personal experience where I was diagnosed with a pancreatic tumor. And spent several months in the hospital, major surgeries. And when I went back to work after that, I just really wasn't happy. I think you kind of realize that life is short when something like that happens. And so about a few months after I went back to work is when I decided to quit my job to travel. Yeah, so like I said, I was a Spanish major in college, and I studied abroad in Spain, and I also did an internship in Nicaragua. And I just really loved the idea of being in Latin America. So when I quit, I started my travels in Guatemala, and I spent about 3 months at a Spanish school there. And then I traveled down Costa Rica, Panama, Colombia, Ecuador, Peru, going to different Spanish schools. When I got to Cusco, I really liked it and studied Spanish here for 2 months. And then I decided to get my TEFL. I decided I kind of wanted a little purpose to my travels, so to teach English. So I found Maximo Nivel and got my TEFL here, which was a 1-month program. And during that month, I met the president and CEO of Maximo Nivel. And we got to talking, and based on my background in business and managing people, he asked me to interview for the country manager job. And so I did, and I moved to Cusco very unexpectedly.
That's very impressive. What was it about Peru specifically that captivated you during the travels? Is there like a particular moment or experience that felt like a turning point?
Not one moment, but just being surrounded by the mountains every day is really incredible. The culture is so unique here. It's just a totally different way of living than the US, which is what I was looking for. I think there are definitely a lot of places within Latin America that I would settle in. And for now, Cusco is just what I'm looking for. Yeah, so as the country manager, I manage all of Maximo Nivel's operations in Peru. So we are a multinational company, also in Costa Rica and Guatemala. So I'm in charge of Peru. So it's a really, really interesting job because I have a national program side, which is our English Institute. We have over 1,800 English students here. And then I have international side, which are Spanish students, volunteers, interns, TEFLers, adventure and culture, tourism. So it's a really unique mix that allows me to experience a lot of different things and meet people from all over the world. And no day is the same. One day I'll be out in an indigenous community, visiting a family there. The next day I'll be teaching an English class to cover for a teacher. So it's that's one of the things I love about it. It's very unexpected. Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, I'm a lot happier here than I was in the US. The job is amazing. I love the people here. The Latin culture is amazing. I think just realizing that I need to do something that I love, even if like the pay is different. But having that freedom to live and to do what I want is really gratifying. Yeah, so I definitely moved from a big corporation in the US to here, which is itself a fairly big corporation, and I am in charge of a lot of it, so I definitely work a lot of hours. But they're hours that I want to be working, right? Going out in the field, visiting volunteers and interns at their placements, showing university professors around. Um, Helping with English students, seeing the impact we're making, just with everything from dogs to people to kids to just teaching English. It's really special, and I definitely feel much more, like I said in the beginning, in my previous position, I felt far removed from the actual direct patient care. And here I feel like I'm actually making an impact on individual people, which is something that really satisfies me.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. It's something I've learned over the years of my career, that you can have a job, like make something technologically that impacts the lives of thousands of people, or you can have a job like a teacher where you're impacting very few individuals, but in a very direct way. For me, the type of impact that makes me feel successful is the direct impact. When I can see a smile on a child's face after they learn a new English word, I can see an indigenous family understand something new about harvesting potatoes and teaching others. Like those are the things that for me make a difference. And even though it is just kind of a drop in the pond, I think all the little drops in a pond that we make all over the world will really make a difference overall.